Looking at the charts, we the best now. Got the keys, we the best now. Hey.
Good day. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. So if you're new here, my name is Tifla, and I'm going to be helping you today with simplifications of algebraic expressions when you're having fractions. So don't forget to rush the end, subscribe to our channel. So these are the tips that I've just written down for you so that they will help you to simplify the fractions, algebraic fractions. So your first tip is to first factorize your terms. So we are going to be factorizing these terms in order to simplify them. So also remember that only identical brackets can cancel out. So you cancel the bracket on top and below, right? So only identical brackets can cancel out, and don't cancel over a plus or a minus. And when you are dealing with a division like this, just like the way that I showed there, if you're dealing with a fraction that is that are dividing each other, right, you might want to change that division into multiplication, but now your second fraction inverts, like you do the reciprocal of your second fraction. So it means that 9 will now go on top and 4 will be below, and then you place a times there. And when you're dealing with a plus or minus, it means that you are first going to deal with your first fraction first, and you can cancel what can be cancelled, and then deal with your second fraction and cancel what can be cancelled. That's when you are dealing with a plus or a minus there in the middle, right? So I'm going to show you how you can simplify your fractions just following these simple steps. So let's just get straight to it. And if you haven't watched our videos on factorizations, you can as well as watch the video that will pop up there. You can just watch that video and it will help you to factorize. And if you haven't watched any of our algebraic expressions, you can just go into this playlist. It will help you a lot with everything that you need to know about these algebraic expressions. So let's just get straight to it on simplification. So let's start with our first question there on simplification. So the first tip is to factorize. So obviously we're going to factorize each and every expression. So this one on top, we can see that this is having a common term, a common factor, which is 3. So we can start right by factorizing 3, and this will remain as a minus 1. And then we can factorize that. So if you're not so much perfect with factorization, you can follow all the steps that I taught you on factorization step by step, and then you can place your term there factorized. But since I've been factorizing for a while now, I know how to factorize straight away, right? So this will just be, and then this your plus and your minus. So we have factorized these terms, and we can move to this. We can see that this is a difference between two squares. So now we can factorize. We know how to factorize the difference between two squares like that. And here again we can see that there's a common factor, which is a. So we can factor out a, and we'll be left with a minus 4. So since now we are dealing with multiplication, also the terms in that term, they can also cancel the factors on these terms. So here we can see that this bracket a minus 1, it is common here, so we can cancel that out. So a bracket on top can only cancel a bracket below. And also here we can see a minus 4 can cancel a minus 4. So since we are having a multiplication here, it means that also this one on top on that other side can cancel this one below on this other side. So now we'll be left with only 3 on top and a below. So this is simplified like that. Let's move to other questions. So let's take a look at this. We have to simplify. So first we'll factorize the terms. So let's factorize this. So factorizing this won't be hard. So this is x, 6, 1, and your minus and your plus. And this now, this is the difference between two squares. So we can put two brackets like that. So x minus 1, x plus 1. And we can move to that other bracket. We can see that there's a common factor there. So let's just factor out that 2, and that will be x minus 1. And also there, we can see that there's a common factor, which is x. We can factor out x, and we'll be left with x minus 6. So let's see the identical brackets that can cancel out. So we can see that here x plus 1 is cancelling out x plus 1. And also this x minus 1 will cancel x minus 1 here below. And x minus 6 will cancel x minus 6 like that. So now it will mean that our terms will just be left with 2 over x, and that is simplified like that. So the key to every algebraic expression simplification is to know your factorization. Likely I've taught you how to factorize. So let's move to the next one. So let's take a look at this one, and you can see that this one is having a division sign. So I already explained that if there's a division sign, we replace that by a multiplication sign, and then we can invert your fraction. So let's just rewrite this. This is x squared minus 5x plus 6 all over 4x minus 12, and then multiplied by, now this fraction will change, so 4x squared plus 8x all over x squared minus 4. So now we can factorize this. Factorizing this will be x, and then your 3, 2 minus and minus. And to factorize this, we can see that there's a common factor which is 4. We can factor that out, and that will be x minus 3. And here we can factor out the common factor which is 4x. So factoring out 4x will leave us with x plus 2. And this is the difference between two squares. So two sets of brackets there. And that will be x minus 2 and x plus 2. So now let's check which brackets cancels each other. So x minus 3 will cancel out x minus 3. And x minus 2 will cancel out x minus 2. And x plus 2 will cancel out x plus 2. And now we can see that we are having 4x and x below there. So 4 and 4 can cancel each other out. And we are only remaining with x over 1. Because below, if all the terms cancel, we'll be left with 1. So any number over 1 is just that number. So that will be x like that. So let's move on to the ones with addition and subtraction in the middle. So let's take a look at this one now, where we can see that we're having a minus in between, right? So as I explained, that we first deal with this fraction first, and we deal with this fraction first, and then we can see the terms that are cancelling in this fraction, and we see the terms that are cancelling in this fraction, and then we can subtract the terms. So let's see now. So this is the difference between two squares. So this will be just simple as x minus 7, x plus 7. And now we can see that the common factor there, it is x. We can factor that out, and we'll be left with x minus 7, like that. And then here, we can factorize that. That's a quadratic. We can factorize that like x, and then 6 and 2 plus and your minus. And here we can see that we're having a common factor of 2, and that will be left with x plus 6. So in this fraction, we can see that this x minus 7 is cancelling x minus 7. So this fraction is remaining as x plus 7 over x. And on this fraction, this is cancelling that, and we'll be left with x minus 2 all over 2. So now if you're adding or subtracting the fractions, it means that we look for the common factor. So the common factor, we find the factor that all the denominators can get in. So you can see that 2x is our common factor. X can get into 2x, and also 2 can get into 2x. So when x gets into 2x, we'll be remaining with 2. So that 2 will multiply this fraction, so that will be 2, and then x plus 7. And here when 2 gets into 2x, 2 cancel 2 and will be remaining with x, so that will be x minus 2. So now from then, we can see that these are multiplying, so that will be 2x plus 14 minus, and this will give us x squared plus 2x, because negative and negative gives us positive all over 2x. And this now, we can add the like terms, so this will be negative x squared, and this plus that will give us 4x, so plus 4x plus 14 all over 2x. So now it is simplified like that. So there's no need to cancel out anything now. It is fine, because we said you cannot cancel over a plus or a minus. So it is fine like that. You can only cancel the identical brackets only. So this is how you can add or subtract the fraction. So maybe another example before we can call it a day. So let's take a look at our last question that we're having on simplification. So here you can check the common factor, which is x, so that will be x, and we'll be remaining with x minus 4. And here our common factor here, it is 2x, so if we factor out 2x, we'll be remaining with x minus 4. And then this is adding that, so we can factorize that. So if we factorize that, we'll be remaining with x, 4, 3, and that will be minus and plus there. So this common factor there, it is 2, and then x plus 3. So now I said each and every fraction we can cancel out the identical things on top and below. So this and this can cancel, and x can cancel as well. So here on this fraction we'll be remaining with 1 over 2, and then here we can see that this and that is cancelling, so we'll be left with x minus 4 all over 2. So now we are having the fractions that are adding with the same denominator, so we can put that under the same denominator, which is 2, and this will be just 1 plus x minus 4. So this will be equivalent to saying 1 plus x minus 4 all over 2. So we can add the like terms there, so we can see that this will remain as x, and 1 minus 4, it is negative 3 all over 2, and it is simplified like that. So if you've enjoyed this last session with me, please show me by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and also like and share with your mates. I hope to see you on the next one, when we'll be dealing with equations and inequalities. Have a lovely day.